Namaste. Good morning. Welcome to class. We're going to start this morning standing up. So if you're down, come on up. Great. So just taking in mind what we did last week, 2 days ago, Tuesday, if you can, just to ground down for a moment. So thinking about the earth element, just finding your tendrils reaching out of your feet down into the ground. Even if you're on the 4th floor of the building, reach them all the way down and grab down into Mother Earth, rooting down. And then lift the pelvic floor a little, lift in your belly a little, lift the spine a little. Begin to occupy a little bit of that space right above your head. Relax your arms, nice and soft. And then letting your eyes either close or take a soft gaze out toward the front of your mat, past your mat, really. And without changing it, just beginning to notice the breath. See if you can put a little bit into your back body. Feeling the back ribs expand. Relax your shoulders, your jaw. Checking in with your feet, making sure you feel stable. Lift your toes for a moment, then drape them down. Centering into the body, bringing your attention into the navel area, right into the navel area. And then imagine the space from your navel to the spine. Imagining the whole of the pelvic basket for a moment with the navel being the center point, just radiating out. Manipur chakra, bringing your awareness there. It's in the spine, behind the navel, but all of the space between. And then relaxing your bottom, relaxing your belly for a moment. And see if you can take a few breaths into that area. Letting the belly expand as you inhale. Use your abdominal muscles, draw the belly back as you exhale. Just a few abdominal breaths. And on your next inhale, drawing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Resting the thumbs against your sternum. Bringing the breath back into the chest, filling the space behind the thumbs. Feeling the belly button move back toward the spine as you exhale. And then keep it there as you inhale into the chest area. Rooting down, grounding down. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. Special prayer of thanksgiving for Babaji. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga, Ayurveda. And with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. So what will make you transform today? Just thinking for a moment. And letting that thought slip down from your mind into your heart space and leave it there for just a moment. Joining me in one Om if you're in a place where you can do that, otherwise just listening. Exhaling all the way down into the roots of the ground below you. Inhale, fill the chest. And then on an inhale, letting your eyes flutter open and releasing your hands and arms just down. So today our focus is water element. We're going to be thinking about fluidity. Fluidity in our body, the lymph, the blood, all of the interstitial fluids were primarily water, right? So we're going to be thinking about that water element and the space of it, Manipur, in the whole of the pelvic cavity, okay? So today we're going to be building toward Warrior 3, which is a pose that really requires for us to balance that area over our standing leg, okay? So it's a pose where the force or the strength is really focused in this area here so that we're keeping ourselves balanced. For those of you who, Warrior 3 is just balancing right over your leg, just balance. And you don't have to go this far. I would much rather see this balance than this balance, opening up and losing all of that strength in the core. So we're just going to work on it, excuse me, little by little, okay? So let's start with the wide-legged stance today. Excuse me. Wiggle your hips, just wiggle a little. So in the Warrior 3, there is no rotation, but there is a lot of strength here. So we're going to build into that strength for a moment, rooting down through the grounding that we did on Tuesday. And today we're lifting up and bringing it into this whole pelvic area, okay? Externally rotate the left leg. Externally rotating the left leg. Good. Bring the knee over the ankle. Warrior 2. Good, and then let's take the arms up overhead, not out to the side. Just reach them up, palms facing one another for a moment. Good. And then we're going to straighten and bend the knee with the breath. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Don't take it past the ankle. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Using the breath in the chest. Exhale, straighten this area of the chest, not high. Exhale, bend. And exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Good. And now taking that long line of energy, we're going to find that Tadasana right over your leg. Good. You can always relax the lower arm, let it hang like a pendulum for a moment, and then straighten the left leg. So in this variation of triangle, arm relaxed like a pendulum or up, you decide. Belly is really engaged. Breath is here in the chest. And we have a Tadasana balanced over our externally rotated leg. If we were just to unrotate that leg, we'd be in Warrior 3. Okay? So just think about it. Don't do it yet. Good. Come back up. Bend the leg a little. Unrotate the foot and the leg and relax the arms. Good. Externally rotate the right leg. Great. Okay. Nice and tall. Good. Bend the knee. And then again, let's take the arms up, right overhead, palms facing one another. Good. Excellent. And then we're going to bend and straighten. Straighten. Bend. Change your breath. Exhale. Think about it. Where you want your strength is where you want your exhale. One more. And then we'll stay there for a moment. Okay, now looking for that Tadasana with our left leg. So just leaning until we get the Tadasana. Again, if your right arm feels heavy, just let it go and hang like a pendulum. Extend up through your left arm. And then let's straighten the leg, finding our modified version of a triangle. And the arm can be up. Wherever it is perfect. And remember, if I were just to rotate myself over, I'd be in Warrior 3. Breathe. And then bend the knee, arms out to the side. Good. And then unrotate the right leg. Release the arms. Heel toe, heel toe, heel toe, heel toe. And come into neutral. Great. So finding your neutral Tadasana for a moment. Just breathing there for a moment. Lift the pelvic floor. belly is in. And then let's look for some liquidity in the body. So as if we were moving through water. Just arms out to the side, moving slowly through water. Inhale, arms reaching up. Exhale, arms floating down. Coordinate your movement with your breath. You may be faster, you may be slower. One more, and then stay up with the arms for a moment. Stay up. Face the palms to one another. Roll the elbows in towards your ears, the inner elbow. Elbow bend out to the side. Good. Pull the ribs in. Pull the belly in. Good. Just breathing for a moment with this extended pose. Urdhva Tadasana, upward reaching Tadasana. Great. And then lower the arms. Excellent. So now we're going to add our Hastapadasana, our forward fold. So remember, it is a slight inversion if we go all the way over. So just remembering, if you're not inverting, you can just come up to halfway and then not go all the way over. Okay? So you can just come halfway up. All right? So inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold. Arms overhead. Exhale, fold. If you can invert, just let go of your head. Keep your head as an extension of your spine. So when your spine is down, your head is down. When your spine is coming up, your head is coming up. Moving through water, nice and slow. Good, one more. Arms all the way overhead and hands into the heart. Release the hands and arms down. And again, standing in Tadasana. Just noticing the body. Good. And then we're going to come, I'm going to go down onto my knees. We're going to all go down onto our knees for just a moment, okay? Arms up overhead initially. So find that long line of Tadasana. As we make our way down to our knees, we're going to start up on the ball of our foot. So come up onto the ball of the foot, reach up away with your arms, and then slowly begin to come into a chair pose. Bottom is back, arms are out parallel. You're on the ball of the foot, and then slowly lower to toe balance, if that's okay. Otherwise, just bring your heels down. Good. And then hands to the floor and back into our tabletop. Okay? So now we're in tabletop. So reaching the left leg back, curling the toes under, feeling the leg firmly on the floor. Just lift the left leg. No rotation. Look back, all of your toes, especially the little toe, is headed toward the floor, not out to the side at all. Release it. And now right leg. Reach back. Good. Curl the toes under, get the foot firmly placed, push through the heel, and then lift the leg. Just a little, not a big lift, so that you can keep your toes to the floor and no external rotation. Press through the heel, pull in the belly, and release. Good. And now let's go again. Left side. Now keep that foot firmly on the floor as you rise up with your right hand. And your right foot on the floor can be stretched out or curled under, whichever gives you most traction. As you lift the left leg, trying to keep yourself even. Finding our Tadasana, with the support of our left arm over our bent right leg. Release the arm, release the leg. Good. Let's take a cat pose here. Pull the belly into the spine, arch. And then slowly and meaningfully, as if you're moving through molasses, come into the opposite arch. Slowly, slowly, slowly. And find neutral. Good. Okay, right foot back. Foot is curled under. And you've thought about your left foot. You want it stretched out. You want it curled under. How do you want your left foot to give you maximum support? Left arm reaching out in front, parallel with the floor, extending out of your body, and then lifting the right leg. Toes are toward the floor. Belly is in. Lots of work in the pelvic basket. Releasing the left arm, release the right leg. Good. And then let's take our hips back to our heels and sit up for a moment in Vajrasana. Finding your thunderbolt is looking forward. So thinking for a moment about how that translates when we're up, what's happening there in our body, in the core part of our body as we're up. So lean forward, put your hands on the floor, curl your toes under. We're going to come back up to that same toe balance that we went down with, okay? So right onto your toes. Bring your hands above your knees. You can keep your hands at your knees. You can put them on your waist. You can bring them out in front like we went down. So you decide, but we're going to see if we can stay on the ball of the foot. So pull in the belly, lift the pelvic floor, shoulders back and down regardless of where your hands are. Shoulders are back and down. And then on your next exhale, begin to stand up. And once you're there, inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And exhale into the heels, all the way down. Good. So again, just keeping in your Tadasana, close your eyes and take a few breaths. Good, and then inhale and open your eyes. So for this next part, you can either use a wall or you can use a chair, whichever you like. I'll start with the chair side. I've got the chair relatively close. Let me put it on my mat so I can't push it off, okay? So turning towards your chair. And you're going to put your foot on your chair. We're going to do like a Pada Gustasana without touching the Pada, without touching your toes. You're just going to reach out. And you can use your chair and try the rotation here, which would be one way of doing it, right? This is like not all the way over. Our leg is at a 90-degree angle, but it's nice, okay? This would be one version. This would be a little bit more of a version. And this would probably be a little, no, it's fine. This would be the full version, okay? So finding where you're going to put your foot on your chair. If you don't have a chair, go to the wall, okay? So we're at the wall. And you want to find your right angle with your hips, body, and wall. Good. So not too far away. So you don't want to be here where you have to bend your knee, right? And you don't want to be here where you're having to stretch and come over to your knee. You want to find the spot. Take your time because you want to feel how that pose feels with that leg firmly in the socket, giving you the strength in your core to do the pose. Okay? All right, so one side at a time. Okay, here we go. So whatever you're doing, start over. Okay, let's do our left leg. So we're rooting down through the right leg completely. Right leg rooting down into the ground. And with our left leg, we begin to bend it up, place it, see where you want it, and then drag the arms up the sides of your body, all the way up. Pull in the belly, pelvic floor is lifted, breath is in your chest, the whole circumference of your chest, not just the front. Think back, side, side. And then on your next exhale, take your hands to your waist or hips, bend the knee, and place the foot on the floor. Good. Okay, let's do the right side. So, coming to wherever you are, finding your space, measure the other side, or if you have your chair, just use the other leg. Okay? Great. Ground down through the left foot, bend the right leg. Begin to extend the right leg. Place it wherever you have it, on your chair, on your wall. Lift the quadricep of the standing leg, and then drag your arms up the body, extending, pulling in the belly, breathing. So you can see this is also warrior 3. It's just a different relationship to gravity. Our standing leg is now out in front of us. But there is no rotation at the hip socket. And slowly bring your hands down to your hips or waist. And then bend the right knee, place the foot on the floor. Excellent. Okay? And then wiggle your hips. Just a little wiggle. Great. And so now we're going broad again. I want to do this little bit of movement in the other direction, thinking liquid, thinking fluid, thinking water, just a little bit of movement. We're going to do rotation again on both legs so that we're sure what rotation feels like and what non-rotation feels like. There's no rotation here. We're just abducted in our legs. So our legs are kidnapped from one another, abducted, okay? Great. Let's start with the right leg. Externally rotate right leg. Good. Belly button went out a little to the right. It was front and center. Lean. Find your Tadasana. Just let your arms be accoutrement. All right? Just let them relax. Just rest this one somewhere on your side, and this one's just hanging in space. Good. Bend the knee. Keep your Tadasana. Straighten the knee. Bend the knee. Keep your Tadasana. Don't lose it. Straighten the knee. Let's go ahead and take our left arm and wrap it around our waist so that you can get a little bit of your hand somewhere there. Just will keep you from collapsing down to the floor. So open your shoulder and arm. Wave out toward me. Good. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. Good. That's all we're doing. And then come up out of the Tadasana. Release your arm. Unrotate your right leg. Good. Wiggle again. Just recalibrating the hip socket, the acetabulum and its relationship to the head of the femur. And externally rotate the left leg. Good. Belly button went out to the left a little. Find our Tadasana. Well, let's go ahead and take this arm. Reach it out. Put it back. Get the hand somewhere over close to your left waist. Let your left arm be like a pendulum. And then bend the knee. Find your Tadasana, the line, and straighten. Bend and straighten. Is your right heel kicked out enough to give you the support you need to bend and straighten. Try it. Bend and straighten. Really let that left arm go and straighten. Bend and straighten. One more. Bend. Okay. Good. Straighten. And then let's come up. Good. Release the arm. Wiggle. And then release the rotation. Good. Heel, toe, heel. Come down into Goddess for just a moment. And with Goddess, just make a few little circles with your hips. Keep your knees solidly over your feet. Don't take your knees far. Good. Find neutral and then straighten the legs. Toe, heel. So you get into your Tadasana. Good. And then for a moment, just find yourself in the middle of your mat and distinguishing between our rotation and our non-rotation. So now there's no rotation. We're going to simply pivot. We're going to leave our left side in Tadasana as we pivot over our standing right leg. Okay? So as you do this, you have to keep your head and everything. You can't look at me. You have to keep everything lined up. Toes are going to face the floor. And you're welcome to do it with your chair. But just be in the middle of the mat so that when you come over, look back and see that all your toes are headed toward the floor. And then push off. And let's do the other leg. So either in the middle of the floor with no support, or over with a chair, or with a wall to receive your hands, okay? So some support wherever you need it. Now we're going to pivot, finding our Tadasana. We're going to pivot our whole body without moving the right side at all. Finding our Tadasana. You can step the right foot back a little to get you started. And then pivoting over the left hip. Good. Pull in the belly. Press through the heel. Make sure your toes are headed toward the floor. Ask yourself about your standing left leg. Is it locked? Unlock the knee and press up through the quad. And then slowly exhale and release the leg and come back into Tadasana. Good. So I want you to take it one more time, wherever you are. Again, free form in the floor with no props, okay? Or I want you to take it with your chair. And if you took it free form and you kind of know you cheated and you really didn't have your toes toward the floor, this is what I see a lot of. I see a lot of this like in the middle. It's right between Warrior 3 and Ardha Chandrasana, right? It's right in between there. It's neither pose. So don't do the neither pose. Get your hips squared, toes toward the floor. One side. Take your time. I'm not doing anything because I want you to focus on you, not on me. So there's no need of even looking. Got another 15 seconds to finish that side. Good, and then coming out of that side, shifting your weight over to the other side, preparing yourself, whatever you need to do. preparing before you head over, being aware. I'm holding a space for you. I'm not doing it. Don't bother looking. Toes toward the floor. That heel of the extended leg needs to have power in it. It's if you have a laser beam coming out of your heel. It's if you have a power sword of a Jedi, okay? So really force through that heel, strengthen the quad, lift the belly. Pelvic floor is super engaged. And then as you're ready, releasing that side. And then we're all coming back into our Tadasana. Let your eyes close for a minute. Let your body, breath, mind, the Triputi, the three energies, recalibrate. Body, breath, mind. For a moment, release your pelvic floor. Let your belly be soft. Shoulders soft. Check with your jaw. Is your jaw super engaged? Let it go. And then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. Re-engage pelvic floor, belly, re-engaging everything. And we're going to do a standing twist, which is the most challenging twist to do because we do not have our sit bones firm on anything. So it's really easy to just kind of bend your whole body and go with it. Tether your belly button to mine. Do not move your belly button. I want you to twist only in your upper body. One way to do that is to put your hands on your shoulders, elbows out. So exhale, root down through those tendrils into Mother Earth. Inhale into the chest. Exhale, belly to spine, pelvic floor lifts. And on your inhale, over to the left. Just the upper body. And exhale, return. 3 times. Exhale to the left. Inhale, to the left. Exhale, return. We're resisting against the breath. Inhaling, twist. Leave your belly button toward me. Exhale, return. One more time. Inhale, twist. And exhale, return. Good. Relax your arms for a moment. Breathe. Notice how your ribs feel, especially the left ribs. Just notice. Good, and this time, let's put our hands behind our neck. And so we're going to keep our neck exactly where it is. We're not going to take the head any further than our sternum goes. The chin is going to stay right over your sternum, right? Exhale, root down through the feet. Inhale, lift the pelvic floor. Lift the belly, lift everything. Exhale, ground down again. And on your inhale to the right. Exhale, just the upper body. Inhale, right? Exhale, return. Inhale, right? Exhale, return. We did 4, one more. Inhale, right? And exhale, return. Release your arms. Close your eyes. Breathe. Try to take the breath into the whole circumference of your chest. Start at the low ribs and physically feel yourself expanding into the intercostal muscles with your breath. Good, and then on your next inhale, letting your eyes flutter open. We're going to go back to Goddess. So however you'd like, coming into Goddess pose, knees and feet in the same direction. Second, third toe and knees are headed in the same direction. Pull up the pelvic floor, pull in the belly, water here. Thinking about mothering babies, where they're held. Guys and gals, everybody knows where they are. So bring your attention right there with the center focus being your abdominal your belly button all the way to your spine. So maybe place your hands on both and bring the energy into both, right between the belly button and the spine. Sink down a little bit deeper, lift the pelvic floor. Good. Arms out to the side. Release. So just little wider movements. Probably going about an inch or two difference with your knees. Get a little closer to straighten. Keep the pelvic floor lifted. Good. And then straighten the legs, arms all the way up. Grab a hold of your right wrist and lean over to the left. Come back up. Grab a hold of your left wrist and lean over to the right. Come back up. Release both arms back behind you. Just let the arms be behind you, behind your legs. Bend a little. Toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel. One more time down to the floor, and again through our toe balance, which is really ball of the foot balance. Okay? Be strong. You can always modify this in any way you might like. Okay? So up onto the ball of the feet. Arms can be on your waist. They can be up. They can be right in front. They can be resting on your legs, wherever you would like your arms. Slowly take the bottom back as if you were going to sit in a chair. Don't bring your knees forward. Take your bottom back. Onto the ball of the foot. Shoulders back and down. Depress the shoulders. And then slowly, we're going to make our way down to the ground. Nice and slowly. Make your way all the way down to the ground. Good. Again, bringing our awareness into Manipur chakra, the space between the belly button and the spine. And hold that space in as we do boat pose. Any version. Okay, you can hold behind your knees, shoulders back and down, creating a V with your spine and your femurs. And legs can come to parallel. You can stay there. You can straighten your legs, still with the hands behind the knees. You can straighten with your arms, whichever version you'd like to do. Belly is in, breath is only in the chest. You need all of this force in the abdominal region, putting a lot of pressure at Manipur chakra. And then slowly release your feet. We're going to make our way to the floor. Before you get there, you can take an inversion if you'd like, but we're going to work our way into it slowly. And if you're not inverting, you can take a twist, but be sure you do not take the twist in your low back, okay? So the twist will be wherever you'd like. You can also do windshield wiper, which works with the psoas. We just did a lot of hip flexion, so that might also be delicious there, okay? So if you have a block and you want to consider either bridge pose or Viparit Karani Mudra with support, grab your block, okay? So making your way down to the floor, sorry, chair was totally in my way, okay? So down onto the floor. And initially just bend your knees. Everybody just come down, bend your knees. And then from here, you can decide what you're going to do. Those of you who invert already know what you're going to do. You've thought about it for a moment. So whether it be Viparit Karani Mudra, bridge pose, headstand, shoulder stand, you decide. Everyone else, you can take a twist here, but not in your low back. So be sure you swish your hips to one side to get that out of your low back. Or you can do windshield wiper, which is what I will do with you if you'd like, okay? So putting our feet mat width apart, at least mat width apart, find your little bit of low back curve. Don't press your low back into the floor. Just find your low back curve. Pull your shoulders away from your hips so you aren't poking your ribs out toward the ceiling. And then slowly drop your knees over to the left. Just drop them to the left, arch your back, and press your right knee toward the floor. Doesn't have to touch the floor, just pressing toward the floor. You can take your gaze and your face over to the right. And then come back into neutral. Bring the knees up to the ceiling. And then take your legs over to the right. Pressing into the left knee and arching the back. Your gaze over to the left. And then coming back through neutral. Either taking another or a twist, you decide. Making it your practice. And as you're completing either your twist, your windshield wiper, your inversion, finding your Tadasana, Shavasana. Our Tadasana, relaxed on the floor, flat on the floor, relaxed. Low back curve, you still have it. Reach through one heel, find that Power Ranger sword and reach through there, and then relax it. Reach to the opposite heel, reach, 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 and relax it. Good. And then let the backs of the hands be on the floor, palms toward the ceiling. And your shoulders are underneath your body. Shoulder blades are underneath. Maybe lift up a little and tuck your shoulder blades in and then relax them to the floor. Finding peace in the body. Just allowing yourself to relax. Triputi, body, breath, mind, any three energies focused together. Triputi. Noticing if there's any tension anywhere in the body, sending your breath there, sending your pranic energy there, and letting it relax. Make sure your belly is soft and can receive the breath. Slowly and gently bringing your awareness into that breath, into the body. Letting your eyes roll in the sockets in one direction, then the other. Letting the tongue roam the mouth, the back of the teeth, the roof of the mouth, swishing it along the front of the teeth. And then opening the mouth wide as if you were yawning. Feeling the snap, crackle, pop of the ears, wriggling your nose, beginning to swim the fingers, twinkle the toes, bringing all of your senses online. Bring your mind's focus for a moment right into your belly button and imagine the space between the belly button and your spine. Maybe rest your hands for a moment on your belly. And breathe into the hands. Let the inhale lift the belly. As you exhale, the belly recedes, drifts back toward the floor. Just a few abdominal breaths. And on your next exhale, keep the belly in. Inhale into your chest, bend your knees, put your feet on the floor, lift your hips off the floor, jiggle them a little, just let them relax, and then shift them over to one side, drop them down, bring your knees into the chest and drop them over to the other side, curling up into embryo pose. And then with the hand of your upper arm on the floor in front of your face, begin to press the floor away. Spiral yourself up with the head, the last thing to come up, and stack on your spine. Looking for a comfortable seat. Just finding yourself a comfortable seat. Good. So we're going to go back into the abdominal breath for a little. That brings our parasympathetic nervous system online. That rest, digest, chill, and lets us sympathetic calm down. Okay? Hopefully our practice has also done that. We're going to bring ourselves into that water element, into our belly, into the pelvic cavity. And we're going to inhale into the belly and exhale, belly. Begin to coordinate your breath. Inhale, belly expands. Exhale, belly expands. Inhale, belly. Exhale, belly spine. Use the muscles. Pull your belly back to your spine. Relax the muscles. Let the belly expand. Exhale. Use your abdominal muscles. Pull the belly back to the spine. Stimulating Manipura chakra. Relax the muscles. Belly expands. Let your eyes close gently. Belly breathing. Again, using your muscles. Abdominal muscles are engaged for the exhale. Then relax the abdominal muscles. Inhale. Stimulating Manipura chakra. Few more abdominal breaths. Keep going. This breath is good for everybody. Anytime you need to relax the mind. And then on your next exhale, as you pull your belly back into the spine and then release the breath, just let yourself breathe wherever your natural breath is. Just falling back into your natural breathing habits. Falling right back. Today, our focus for meditation is the water element. So this whole area. And I'd like you to imagine, if you can, a crescent moon just beginning to become a crescent moon. If you have the points of the moon are your hip bones, and the crescent moon is hanging low in your abdomen. This beautiful white crescent moon hanging low in your abdomen. Sitting at the top are lotus flowers, blossoming. So eyes closed, moving internally. The mudra, if you'd like to do it, is the tip of your thumb to the tip of your pinky finger. Tip of your thumb to the tip of your pinky finger. Relaxing the backs of the hands along the legs. Up, water element. The mantra that will engage today to bring in this liquidity, this fluidity. Bum, 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 bum. The V, bum, bum. Silently repeating the mantra over to yourself, focusing on the crescent moon in your pelvic fascia. Holding the mudra of up, of water. Bum, 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 bum. Liquidity in the body, blood and lymph and water, saliva, all of the liquids in the body. Bum, bum, bum. Water outside of the body, rain, rivers, oceans, streams, wells. Bum, bum, bum. Crescent moon in the belly. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Hum, hum, hum. Releasing the mantra slowly and letting it fade, releasing the mudra, and just sitting for a moment in quiet contemplation as asana, pranayama, dharana, concentration, affect your whole body-mind complex. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Any merit we may have earned this morning, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. What was your intention for self-transformation? Bring it down out of your mind into your heart. And then letting these thoughts slip out of our heart into our hands and lift them up. Let them go off into the universe, bringing the hands back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. I'm coming to you. Okay. So let me see if I can get this fixed so that you can talk. Great. And now let me get it where I can see you all. Beautiful. Okay. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. It was so nice to have you this morning. So any thoughts or any questions or anything about class, about the practice we did, about working with water, about, yeah, anything at all. Anything at all. You can unmute if you'd like. You don't have to unmute. You don't have to talk. I can think of something to say. Always. I can always think of something to say. But anything about the practice. How was Warrior 3 for you? Was that okay? Yeah? It really, you know, I kind of stopped and just let you do it on your own because so many times we're looking at the teacher and not paying attention to ourselves and not getting that alignment that we need to feel that the whole lift in the belly and the extension through the leg and, you know, everything that kind of needs to happen for that to be a comfortable pose. Jean? Uh-huh. I can't hear you. Unmute.
There, it's unmuted.
Yeah.
It was helpful to me when you explained in Warrior 3 how not to do it.
Okay.
And also with regard to the water, when you named the fluids, that was really, that graphic aspect of it was real. It really made the whole thing happen.
Oh,
great.
good. You mean when we just went through like what the elements were in the body and out of the body?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Naming all those liquids.
Good. Excellent. Yeah. Anyone else? Because I tried to keep the focus at water from the beginning. It's just sometimes we don't really know that we were there until we're done. But that's one of the reasons I also started with standing up rather than sitting down this morning, was to use that rooting down that we had done through Mother Earth to try to feel that grounding that we had hopefully been able to accomplish, and then build and feel the water in the pelvic basket, right? Because really the grounding is from our tailbone down. It's not really, it's like from the pelvic floor down. It's not really at all in the pelvic basket. So that rooting and grounding is like from pubic bone, tailbone, sit bone down. Yeah. Thank you, Nayanaji. Yeah. Any concerns about, and what about the breath? Were you good breathing into your belly after having breathed into your belly on the floor a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah? Good. Because that abdominal breath, especially today, when we're so worried about everything, you just went into a place and you don't remember if you had your mask on properly, or you just went into a place and somebody was coughing, it's like we're worried. It's like sometimes when you go wherever you've been, to get in your car and sit there and do a little bit of abdominal breathing just to bring you back online so that you find your true calmness. Last night I had the weirdest dream. I was I'm not fond of heights, just in case you didn't know that. I'm not fond of heights. And this was a stairway to heaven. I mean, it was like some big old thing I had to climb up. And I realized I was climbing up and that I had to climb up. And then I got about halfway there and realized that I didn't have my mask. I had to go back down and start going back down. Well, then when I started going back down, I realized how far up I was, and I got nauseous. I got really nauseous. I don't know, those of you who are afraid of heights, nausea is a really big one, right? I got really nauseous. I woke up. I was so nauseous. And then I lost the dream. Thank God I lost the dream. But that whole feeling of so I don't know what was related to that. Obviously, I can't find a comfortable place to sit this morning. I moved my good chair, and I've got this terrible chair here. Yeah, so that going up, like going into a place that I don't want to go. I never want to go up. My son and I, when we went to Coit Tower, those of you who live in San Francisco know that it's not a very tall tower. And the two of us got only to the second floor. And sat down on a stair and waited for my other child, who is fearless, to come down the stairs and pick us up on the way back down. We just sit there with our eyes closed and let people pass us. Oh Lord. It's not really funny. It's really sad that someone my age would be still not happy with heights. The great thing is I don't ever think of an airplane as being high anymore. So I can fly. I had to rework that in my mind. Yeah. Hi, Donna. Yeah.
Hi, yeah, the focus on the water element really helped with because I had noticed some heaviness in my chest when I was starting out, and then bringing the focus down to the lower area and imagining the flow of water was really nice. Maybe just bringing the feeling to nothing, that feeling isn't as solid as it seemed, and it just kind of flowed away. Yeah, throughout the practice. That was really nice. Good.
And I love the the crescent moon laying in the belly with the 2 lotus blossoms on either side. That's from the Tattva Shuddhi meditation from Swami, I think it's Swami Satchidananda. It's a great little book I have that has a meditation on the 5 elements and Purush. It's a beautiful meditation. And that's the vision at that pelvic area. And I'll be using the other visions all the way up. The vision for Earth is a yellow square. I'm going to back up. But on the yellow square, the person is standing here, right? And you're seeing the yellow square here down. So you're seeing that everything that picks up below the pelvic basket and goes down. So if we're seated, then it's that whole thing. So like as if you were sitting in a yellow square. But I didn't think that was that easy to visualize, so I didn't use that one. But I will use the rest of them as we play with the elements over the next 2 weeks, right? We'll do 1 element a day, and then when we get to the end, we'll do all 5 elements together. So Tuesday will be fire. Yeah. Any other questions or any comments or anything about life in general or yoga in particular?
I actually have a question about when you're doing Warrior 3. I noticed my standing foot wanted to rotate out, and that's also not supposed to happen, correct?
Correct. And what happens with that, that's showing like that's what you're accustomed to. So you may walk a little bit slew-footed and not even realize it. Your strongest stance right now, or your habitual stance, better than strongest, the stance you use most often can be a little slew-footed, right? So you just pay attention to that. But Cam, the best thing for you to do to get out of that, instead of trying Warrior 3 for the moment, is to try it like this. And I'm working with both legs. I'm really trying to see where that is, where this leg is feeling comfortable, right? So I'm working on it so that when I come to this way, this leg now understands what it's like to stay in the socket and not have that rotation, right?
Yeah.
So like work with that troublesome leg up. One of the ways that I think I cured myself at Mount Madonna, my kitchen was the perfect height for me to go make my tea water and extend my leg. And when it got tired, I'd rest it on the counter and then again. And then I'd rest it on the counter and then extend it again, right? And that got me to feel what that hip felt like. So you can maybe find a counter that is kind to your stance. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, neat, thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? Okay, if there's nothing more with practice and nothing more with our wonderful, beautiful abdominal we all love and should do constantly. Jean, did you have a comment, sweetie?
Yeah, I was wondering, when you're in the Warrior 3 pose, what do you do with your arms?
Well, it can be anything. It can be for people that really, your arms are weighting the pose, right? So if you're not yet secure in your pose, leave your arms here and just rotate. If you're secure in the pose, your arms in the full pose are in Urdhva and rotated, okay? Which is why I say I'd much rather see this. This is the perfect pose. I'm barely over my leg, but I have an extension and my leg is not rotating, right? So, or here. But I prefer here than here. Opening it up. That show you?
Thank you.
Yeah, Yeah.
Yes, that's good. Thank
And
you.
everybody gets it that it's Warrior 3 is not anywhere close to Ardha Chandrasana. It's the exact opposite in your hip girdle, right?
Right.
Ardha Chandrasana, your hip is open.
Yeah.
Asana is over your externally rotated leg. And in this, your hip is closed and it's over your standing leg, right? So very, very, very different. And a lot of times I see a lot of students take them both relatively the same. They don't do either one properly. So just concentrate on trying to keep your hips aligned in both ways. Yeah. Jason, nice to see you.
Hey, Kamalesh, I have a comment about Warrior 3. What helped me most is your cue about keeping your pinky toe down.
Good.
Because
Good.
that only just not, that reminded me to turn my whole leg,
Yeah.
not just at my hip.
Good. Thanks, Anna. Yeah, it's so important. And we'll look back and see our toe is out, then we realize that we took the whole leg is externally rotated, because we'll have a tendency to walk a little bit externally rotated. That's our tendency, just as nature, right? Especially those of us who, when we were younger, thought we were a little bit bow-legged. And so we got out the bow-leggedness by slewing our feet a little bit. So one of the things with yoga therapy, the first thing I do is have people walk toward me, walk away, walk toward me, walk away, because that's where I realize they're anomalies, how you hold yourself. We all have a stronger side and a weaker side, and it can help us determine. And you usually hurt your strong side because it's the one that always takes all the brunt of everything. And so usually you hurt your strong side. So then you have to work on developing your weaker side. Yeah.
I have a question, Ginger.
Yes.
In Warrior 3, is it better to, I'm having a hard time with the alignment, with the balance actually. So is it better to hold on and focus on the alignment of the legs?
Yes. Hold on to the chair. Hold on to put your foot on a wall. Hold on right beside you. Like I can cheat pretty easily here if I want. And it's a good cheat. Like I can hold the wall here as I can hold the wall as I play, right? And so now I can play, okay, my toes are toward the floor. Oh, that's what she means when my toes are a little bit out to the side. Oh, I've been doing it like that. Oh, I can do it like that. But I've got the wall, and that's really helpful for me to see how I'm supposed to be aligned. And then when I want, I can maybe at some point, or not, who cares, release the wall.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, well, really nice to see you. Really nice to hang out with you. I'm looking forward tonight. We have a yoga teacher training starting, and Wendy's one of the apprentices, and she'll be in there with us, and that'll be fun. Yeah. So everybody have a great weekend, and I'll hopefully see you on Tuesday, and we'll do a little playing with fire. Okay, everyone. Much love. Much love. Have a great one.